Good evening, and welcome to another powerful edition of Defending Our Community. I am your co-host, Sister Khadijah, along with your host, Mr. Kevin. The topic is Stop Assuming. Now, before we go any further, it is customary in the African tradition that we get permission from one of our elders to go ahead and speak. And I'm going to go ahead and ask Mama, can you give us permission to speak?
Yes, you may.
All right. And yes, we have a hard-hitting show as usual. We have a lot of things that we need to cover right quick, and we're going to go ahead and start off with letting everybody know that this coming Monday, December the 9th at 10 o'clock, we're asking people to be at the 16 JDC Courthouse on behalf of the Honorable Judge Laurie Landry. Also December the 10th at 9, December the 11th at 10, December the 12th at 9, and December the 13th at 9. So it's really important, and if people understand exactly what's going on, it's really important that we support those who support their community, who love their community. And it's evident that the Honorable Judge Laurie Landry do love her community, and she's being attacked. And the reason why she's being attacked because she decided to speak truth to power and stating that, there's a lot of discrepancies when it comes down to handing out sentencing with the 16 JDC. Now, if you know anything about the 16 JDC, we're talking about Bo Dewey, Robbie Vines, Phil Haney. Before Phil Haney, I can't think
Pete Como, Bud Lee, that's all the 16.
Okay.
That's
That's the handful of
But it started with Bernie Boudreaux back in the day.
Okay, Bernie Boudreaux, you're correct. So that's the handful of white men,
good old boy
system that have ruined, and ran things for years.
About 50 years.
Yeah, for about 50 years. And they are some of the most corrupt men in existence. When I say corrupt, when you look at the 16 JDC, you know that, they sending people for life sentencing. They giving you the harshest times. They did something like Well, they all work together. The district attorneys, they have too much power. We need to remember that. All the district attorneys and these sheriffs have too much power. Mr. Kevin.
But the people is what give them the power when you don't speak up when you see injustice being done. Their job is to judge by evidence. And this is what Lori Landry is doing now. Judging by evidence, and they can't win with all the misevidence they put in other people's cases. This is what you call when justice start to become for all the people, there's a problem. Their people is all right to give them favors and leniency and all this. You know, Bo Dewey, his cousin was a sexual rapist.
Oh.
And he threatened a DA not to prosecute him just to give him another chance. This is a sex offender. He's no different than a black or a brown sex offender. He's a sex offender. And this is the thing people not understanding. They always feel black people complain, but you don't see what we complaining about. We trying to bring light to where there's been dark, and a lot of time there's been light, and people refuse to see the truth.
Yes.
And this is what we have in every day in our life as being black people. The assumption of we want what you got.
Yes.
We want what we deserve. That's what we want.
Yes.
We don't want nothing y'all have. You know, if I'm paying for something, and when I finish paying for it, I want it. I don't want you to say, well, look, they got another bill due. No, that's not the way the policy works.
Right.
Same thing. If I'm guilty of something, make sure you have the evidence to prove me guilty, because I will not take a plea bargain.
That's right.
And that's how they've been winning so far, behind bringing their young, poor, majority black people behind closed doors and make them sign a plea bargain.
Yes.
And once you sign the plea bargain, the judge can't do nothing about it because you done gave up all your rights.
Gave up all your rights.
And now that Lori Landry is hearing the case fully, nobody is taking pleas and they can't win. So this is where the problem come in at.
And when you say the key word that they can't win, but when you start lining up everything, you could tell that they have relatives that's involved in the
worse cases.
Yeah,
that they won't prosecute because they come from good families.
Yeah,
well,
right.
We come from good families too.
Right, we do.
You know, everybody have issues in their life. But if you're going to judge mine, judge the next person the same way you judge mine. Get to know me before you judge me. And this is what they don't do.
Yes.
Their job is to convict. Rob Vine bragged on how 1 million years he gave young black kids. That bragged on this when he didn't get the head DA job. Rob Vine.
Rob Vine's a little short.
Who has a sister do more drugs than anything, but yet still she won't do no jail time.
That's right. She would never do jail time.
So just like my brother or sister on drugs that you try to convict, you should be convicting your own.
Yes.
If you're doing your job.
Right. If you're doing your job. And you know, this is important. It is so important that with the way that media is today, that I should be able to call you or get on Facebook and say, look, I need your support. Come out there to the 16JDC on Monday at 10 o'clock. Be there to support the Honorable Judge Landry, because she is as strong as her strongest supporter. Now, we are our strongest supporter, you know, so we know.
And I'm not even kin to her, but I'm kin to justice. The way you read them signs, she should have you on the payroll.
Oh.
But my thing is, we, the people, got to come together and wake each other up.
Yes.
Don't wait for these people who say have leniency on you, because they will not. See, a lot of white folks really don't understand what black people truly go through. And to those who do, I want to thank you, because y'all getting black people in your family now. And now y'all starting to see a little bit of what we go through every day and daily. But the thing that we have to understand is that the color black is so powerful that you mix it with any color, it changes direction towards black. So the black people who think you don't count or represent, you're selling yourself short. They are afraid of us.
Yes.
Because when we get together and start doing what we're supposed to do and we get focused together, the things we can do, that's what they try to keep disrupting by separating us and putting us against one another. I don't talk about another black person unless he takes a job that he's supposed to represent the people and not himself. That's when I get involved in it. Because if you're going to take the job, do the job right. And if you're going to fight for the people and not for your private entities. That's what we have today with a lot of our black politicians. Once they get in there, the stories they told us before, they forget what they said. And now, oh, we can't do nothing, but give me another term, I'm going to do it. No, you said when you get in there, you was going to do something. Just like our little council member, Marlon Lewis. You know, we got the little 4 slides. We're still waiting on the water to get in the park. But there's no more money now. The little bit money you wasted on 4 slides and a cement pad could have gone to remodeling that gym for these kids to get off the street and go play basketball or some kind of private stuff inside of the gym. This is where we go wrong at when we start thinking we doing somebody a favor by putting a water pad in a park that's been having drive-by shooting for the last 10 years. Who want to let their children go in a water park where they can catch a bullet steady waters?
Well, I really didn't understand the fact that the pool was closed, and that was like a major deficit to let our pool be closed down, because them young kids they look for that, and that's what they really want and deserve. As you can tell, this is a live segment. I'm the co-host, Sister Khadijah. The host is Mr. Kevin. The title is Stop Assuming. And as you can see, the telephone number is 337-366-8951. You could call us and we'd be willing to answer your call. But I think that it is so important that we understand, like what Robbie Bethel would say, you know, trickery. How trickery comes in all type of shapes and sizes. And that's one thing that the 16 JDC has been doing.
The trickery starts with the assumption. Because when you start assuming things, and you can get other people to assume things with you, then you got somebody to start a riot against other people. This assumption have started more wars, more Holocaust, more genocide than anything. Yeah. And this is the problem that we have. And we have so many people that are so persuasive, even in our own culture. We would sell each other out for $1, not knowing you could get $3 the next day. But the thing we not understanding, this is why they want us with no education. Because somebody who don't have knowledge doesn't have any power at all. So whatever you're going to tell them, they're going to believe.
They're going to believe.
And that's the problem they're having today. Because some of these representatives in our government, and I repeat, in our government, are the same ones who got free college education off the government, that the funds that our tax dollar pay for. You know, I was considered a middle class. I get taxed till I become a poor class.
Oh, you were considered middle class.
Well, at one point in time, I mean, if you had a job, you was considered a middle class.
Yeah.
Now you got to have 2 and 3 jobs just to be close to a middle class.
Yes.
Because we pay all the taxes for all the rich.
All the rich.
And this assumption that we don't understand how this work is crazy. Because if I pay taxes on my things I buy, I shouldn't have to pay your taxes that you selling to me.
Yes.
But they make us feel like because they're rich, they're gifted. Like God put them on this earth to be servant. We got to serve to them. And a lot of people feel because people are rich, they're smarter than them. No, they're not. The biggest thing is they will sell you faster than anybody else, so that's why they are rich. You know, one rich person always tell another poor person, it's not nice to ask somebody rich for money. Well, if you was nice, I shouldn't have to ask you for money. If you were so-called this godly Christian that you say God chose you to run everything that we so say do. But I don't blame them. I blame the people who not seeing the true light of everything that they show us. We, the people, have to come together and understand that nobody on this planet of Earth and nowhere in any other country should there be a president, a queen, a king, none of this, because we are all humans. But when we start looking for so-called leaders who lead us to a dump site, then you become the problem, not them. It's all right for them to get the insurance they're denying us. Why is that? We can lend millions of dollars to other countries to support wars, but we can't pay for education and health care.
Yes.
We can go and want to build a wall to keep Mexicans out, but then we allow them a visa card to come work in the fields, clean our yards, build our subdivisions, and then don't even allow them to become an American citizen.
Right. And paying them below minimum wage.
And that's why they do this.
No insurance, no health insurance, and they have families and communities that they have to take care of.
And then tell Americans they taking all the job, the immigrants. And they the one giving all the contracts to the immigrants.
Okay. Caller, you have a question or a comment?
Good afternoon, Mr. Kevin, and good afternoon, Sister Khadijah. Again, I want to thank the director, Brother Shahid, for putting on this great show. It's much needed. I'm going to tell you from the response we're getting here, the people who are restreaming the show, we're getting a great response. So the show is much needed for our area. With that aside, I want to say, Mr. Kevin, you hit on a couple of things, and I'm going to try to be brief. And I'm sorry I couldn't be there with you all today. I got a previous engagement. But you brought up something that's near and dear to me, our city of New Iberia. And we got to be able to criticize those local politicians who make promises and don't deliver, Mr. Kevin, as it goes to and I hate to say it happens to fall on the backs of the three black representatives on the New Iberia City Council: Deidre Ledbetter, Jerry Guidry, and Marlon Lewis.
And don't feel sorry for them, though, please.
What I'm just saying, all one would have to do, Sister Khadijah, and bear with me where I'm going with this. It's not that I'm hating on anyone particular, but it's the job they're doing as politicians. The lies have been told that they should have been doing their job. Look, all what one would have to do, Mr. Kevin, and you know it, brother, ride through New Iberia and look at the number of houses that are not occupied. Now, I understand people don't have money, families are moving out, people have died, but I think there are programs out there that they could use to revitalize that western part of New Iberia. If you look at, if you could go and count the number of houses that are abandoned or not being occupied, that would make you cry.
Brother,
where you remember how New Iberia once was.
Yeah, but Brother Jay,
say this, they get grant money.
Yeah, Brother Jay.
And all we hear is tearing down housing. We understand we got to tear down blighted houses to not cause disease, crime, and poverty. But you know what? You could take, know how to get money if you're a politician. Why you can't put that money into that western part of town? There are a few groups like I applaud Sister Robert Carrier for what they're trying to do with the western community issues group they are. But you know what? They need more people involved, more people more politicians being involved in the western. Go and ride on the western and go ride on Main Street right now, and you see the big difference.
Yes, Brother Jay.
All black folks pay taxes, whether you paying sales taxes,
right?
Paying tax, Mr. Kevin, that is a sin and a shame.
Brother Jay.
Listen, I'm gonna let you
get off the
line, but I want to also bring up this part. Attorney General Bob Barr, why it's important to pay attention to this person in the White House. The one they appointed after Jeff Sessions, the redneck clown who Trump fired, he appointed to a Nazi, a real Nazi, Bob Barr, who basically said when he spoke in front of a police group that, well, if communities protest the police, they don't need protection. When you say something like that, you basically saying police is all right to police certain neighborhoods. And that's what happened in New Iberia when police didn't respond and we had all these killings. So he making a dangerous comment for Attorney General who's supposed to be there for all the people. So this is the people that this person in the White House and this person like Clay Higgins and the new mayor of Lafayette, Giuliani boy, Josh Hillary. That's who they support. And black folk need to understand when they go in and want to do business with people like that, they're dealing with with some devils, some evil people who do not have their interests at heart. So I just want to make those comments.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Jay. Caller, you have a question or a comment?
Yes, I have a comment.
Go ahead.
Okay, yes. All right, and I see the title is Stop Assuming. Okay, With that said, guys, I'm going to just say what comes to mind. Guys, we live in America. And the statement about our country is supposed to be land of the free and home of the brave. That brave thing talks about our military men and women who served, and many of them are no longer with us, and things of that nature. Well, I want to say this. We all know that this is a game. And if you don't have gamesmanship, you can't play in this game. You will ultimately lose because you don't understand how this game is played. They are bringing some of us to the table, but we don't even get to sit at that table. There's another room, and that's as far as we gonna go. It's in that room. You ain't getting to that table.
Correct.
Because at that table are where major decisions are being made. And that's where we, as a people, are being X'd out. And I'm going to close with this. If Donald Trump is as good as they claim, or he claims to be, then my question to us is this. Why are our brothers and sisters and them following him? Answer that to all of us, because we have people like Don King, the Kardashian husband guy. What's his name? Y'all know what I'm talking about. We have brothers and sisters that have forgotten about us, but they supporting Trump. But then watch this. When they need us, they come to us and they give us a concert. They spill a little beans. And many of them sat at the round table, man, at these gatherings that Donald Trump had. And those gatherings were gatherings where Donald Trump laid money to all of them that sat at that table. They know who they are. They're all over the country. They're in every state. They accepted all that money, and then they came back to our community, and they sold us a damn dream. Well, all I'm going to close with this is this. Our ancestors, they paid a price for this America that we now live in. And if we don't do something, then how shameful are all of us? Because our ancestors of North America that came here, they looking at us, our grandparents, great-grandparents, and all of them, and they said, man, this is unbelievable that these kids won't get up and fight.
Yeah.
We got to fight. We got to fight the one among us, because among us is the worstest one. And then we turn our eyes on the devil. Because let me close with this. That gun violence that we see is easy to stop. And I'm going to tell y'all the way right now. Everybody get your pen and pencil. Here is how you stop gun violence. You stop it by something got into our children and into our people, and that's Lucifer, the evil one and his evilness. And if we can take him out of us, then we just solve the dang problem. Gun violence is an evil. Get the evil. You know how our grandmothers used to say, I'm going to close with this. Our grandfathers, they say, boy, mom, something got into that child. That child never acted like that. Something got into him. Well, what has gotten into us is the evil that has been put in us by that other group. They put it in us. And because it's in us, we have to help our children get it out of them. And our elders and everybody. And here's how we do it. First chapter is Genesis.
Hold up, hold up. Look, we're not going to church right now. We the biggest thing is assumption. This is what we start going wrong at when we start bringing God and devil in all this. The worst power of all man is greed, money. So it doesn't matter what color you are. You put money in front, black, white, brown people, they will change it to something different. We always want to go pray as black people. This is not a praying incident. This is what we have to do. Stick together and talk about it. Not call some Holy Spirit, call Jesus Christ, God, and all this. Us, the people who are living. We cannot go on with all this corruption and all this assumption. This is why the title is Stop Assuming. Right. Because once you start assuming, that's when you start losing your faith. Because number one, the reason why I did this show today is because we all have some kind of assumption of people or things. But are we right, or do we block ourselves out? My thing is, no one owes me or y'all nothing but ourselves. We do owe it to ourselves to do better. And better mean thinking better, understanding better, and not going.
Turn your TV down, caller.
We're going to get to him later. We not, you know, I understand what you're going through, caller, but the thing is, we got to stop all this preaching. We got to stop all this preaching about real things. We talk about things that's happening right now. We're not going to church. We're not about to cast nobody out. All of us together, people, blacks, whites, poors, the most.
Well,
We are the one getting used for their sacrifices. We are the lambs. We are the ones that they feel don't have the education or self-knowledge to do better. And the thing that we need to do is understand each other first. We cannot keep going on blaming other people for what we go through.
okay. Wait.
Look, callers. Let me be real with y'all. We don't mind a comment. We don't mind. We got a certain amount of time. Now you can give a question or whatever, but as for trying to take a sermon, we don't have time for that.
Well, and you know what? I think too. What he also was trying to say is that we those of us who know that there's a higher power, those of us that believe in God,
we are the higher power. See, I don't do this show. I don't do this show for no spirits, no godly thing, none of that. I do it for the people who are alive,
Right.
who some are still sleeping. We must wake up and stop all this praying and start doing. Just like you wear these Lori Landry stuff for people to get out there and support. Where are all the Christians? Where are all of them that's talking about there's a higher power? Why are y'all not in those courtrooms? Why are me and you who have jobs and lives got to go and support this lady? Where are y'all? Where are the pastors? The ones who don't have jobs, who living off of the people, who should be supporting the people.
Okay, well, caller, we understand what you're trying to say, and there is a part of us that wholeheartedly believe in it, because look, I know.
Just ignore it. Talk to him. Just ignore that caller, because he said he was going to close out 5 times. Well, we close you out because they got all the callers trying to come in.
Yes, you're on, caller.
Yes. Sister B, I want to say to Brother Kevin this. Brother Kevin, I love you, and I love all my brothers and sisters of all races. Brother Kevin, I want to just leave you with this, and this is a whole lot of love, too. Brother Kevin, I was brought into this world by the God that I know.
Good.
My mom, who he used to get me here. Now, hold
Good.
on, brother, let me say.
Good, but
And listen, I haven't been, let's say somebody been dictating to me this and that. Brother Kevin, I lost my mom at 13 years old, my brother.
Sorry to
Okay,
hear that.
good.
Sorry to hear
Died when I was making 13. I was 12. Now, let me say, I've lived 35, almost 40 years without my mom, bro.
Okay.
I'm going to leave you with this, homeboy. I love you and all of that. But let me tell you something, Brother Kevin. We can't God do the same evil they doing.
And I'm not doing the evil.
I'm not assuming. What I'm saying is this. Brother Kev, we've tried to fight evil against evil, and we failed that way.
Not supposed to do that.
And I don't know if you know what I mean, but I can talk to you one-on-one on this TV.
That would be nice. Come after the show. We'll be off in an hour. We can talk.
Let me say this, and I'm going to close with this.
Please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for all what you do. And Brother Kev, thank you for being a strong brother.
And I'm going to still be strong no matter what.
And I
Okay,
support
thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
All I'm going to say is this, brother.
Look, guys, listen to me. You can come meet me after the show. It doesn't matter. We got a talk show to get to people, not the praying, not all this other stuff. We don't come in here with prayers and spiritual wars. This is real. This is what we go through daily. Black folks just want to pray for everything that's going on in their life. God is dead. We are alive. We are alive. And if you want to do something godly, fight for it. Please.
Okay.
Please. And stop with all these stories. I don't care who done died. We all have people that died in our family. That doesn't make an excuse to complain about everything. Now, I'm back to the show about assumptions. Please, with the church stuff, tomorrow y'all can go to your sermons. Do that, please. And look, if I'm offending any one of y'all, please don't watch the show. Because I don't want to be as a fake forecaster. None of that. The thing is today, we got to get the message out for us to wake up. This is not a prayer meeting. This is not about talking about spirits we never met. We are talking about human beings, human lives, why they're alive. And if we don't come together and start going after the big picture, where it is our monies, our children's education, our children's future, is going to be lost.
Okay, and also remember that December the 9th, which is Monday, at 10 o'clock, we need people at the 16 JDC Courthouse. December the 10th, that's the Tuesday. 9 o'clock, December the 11th, that's the Wednesday at 10 o'clock. December the 12th, that's the Thursday at 9 o'clock. And December the 13th at 10 o'clock. And one thing that you always know is that no matter how we look at different things, different entities, that we all are one. You have people that I've never seen before in courthouse, elderly senior citizens, and that are there with their wheelchair or with their cane. They're there in support. Look at Mayor Melinda out in St. Martinville. This is a beautiful, articulate sister. Look at how the evil that's in some of the councilmen, look how that's coming out. You know, so we as conscientious fighters that believe in telling truth to power, we got to keep that up.
And I'm not about talking. I'm about doing. This is the problem that people have when I speak out about not believing in a so-called God, not believing in what you believe in. Doesn't mean I'm not a human. My thing is, we got to come together as human beings with respect for others. Stop putting labels on each other. Now, I'm going to get into lack of integration.
Okay, lack of integration.
The thing that we have, no matter where you go on this planet, black people or black things are feared. Even in a country where black people supposedly came from, Africa, the blacks out there don't like the black Americans. And I know why. Because the things that we went through and we still alive. But the thing we have to come together and tell our youngsters that they can do better. Don't wait on somebody to tell you what you need to do. That's the problem we're having today with our culture of people. I've been seeing Mexicans, Asians, all of them come into our neighborhood and make money off of us. But then when it comes to us, we always got to complain about they not doing this for us. They not. You don't hear these Asians or these Mexicans complaining. They come out here and do the job. The first thing we want to complain about, oh, they're not paying me enough. Well, change your life. Change the way you do things. And do your own thing. You don't have to wait on somebody to say you need a college degree to be somebody. The thing that we have, and we like to label everybody. We want our children to be professional, all this and all that, but yet still don't even have a lick of education. But they got money. But then when they get the money, what do they do with it without their education? Misuse the funds. My thing today is we, the people of culture of blacks, we are nothing but entertainment for these people. And until we start owning our own entertainment, that's the only way we're going to make them recognize and respect us to be who we supposed to be.
Yes, and I need to send out a shout out to Marbuck and Joe, the Marbuck and Joe Show, Agnes Dercor, also Brother Jay. Brother Jay, I wanted to dialogue with you on something that you had mentioned earlier, but I know you have to go to a shoot. But as you can tell, the topic is stop assuming. Stop assuming that others is going to be there and you're not going to be there. You know, I took and I brought this boxing glove to show that, you know, this boxing glove is for physical contact. This boxing glove is for intimidation. And the intimidation, it comes from, and I should have had written on there, the 16 JDC. That's what the 16 JDC is trying to do to people of Iberia Parish. So they're the real bully right here. And so we, the people, we've got to come out strong, whatever it is, the way we got to walk, we need help with cane, it doesn't really matter. You got to come out Monday, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, 12th, 13th. You got to come out and show your support.
But you bought the wrong thing for the 16th. The 16th fight with handcuff. They want you in handcuff.
You're right.
And then with
should.
boxing gloves. So
Yeah,
don't even,
right.
they won't fight us straight up.
Yeah, you're right.
Like the average youngster, they don't believe in fight, they believe in shooting. And you know, like I tell everybody, in order to get respect, you must respect yourself first. And if we don't start doing it at our own houses, then how do you expect them to go out in the streets and get respect? We always miss the big picture about blaming other people for what our children or what we go through. You know, when I came up, they had no white man in my house. It was my mom and dad who worked 3 jobs to support 7 children in a 2-bedroom house. And then on summer breaks, we had to go and work just to help out with our school clothes. But the thing was, they never complained like I hear black folks complain today. We got to stop all the complaining and start going doing. Because when somebody of another culture tells you something that breaks you down, you just broke your own self down for allowing them to get in your head. We got to start focusing on ourselves, because I'm coming from somebody that didn't go to college but had enough common sense to understand you can self-educate yourself without paying somebody else to tell you their story of a word. See, that's the problem we're having today. We looking for leaders. I don't have a leader in my life, whether it's God, black person, president, none of this. I am my leader. And whatever I choose to do is right because I respect everybody else's decision. It's called respecting each other. Do unto others what you want done to you, and your life is going to be great. We cannot say one thing and then do opposite. Because my thing is, when you just a talker, I have no respect for you, whether you black or white. And that's why I don't have a leader or so-called look for a leader. Because when I look in my mirror in the morning, I see my face. And I know what I have to do to make my face better. And that's what we're not showing our kids today. When our kids hear us whining about the white people owe us something, guess what happened to their life? They start thinking that they get to owe something too.
Well, you know what? I don't really see that as whining. I see that as, you know, coming forth. I see it as saying, well, you know, the opportunities has been there. All the opportunities have always been there, except one race is able to like
one
get
culture.
It
There is
all the
one
way,
race, human
and
race.
one and the other, you know, we got to fight for it tooth and nail. Some of my heroes and stuff has been the Fannie Lou Hammers, you know, the Angela Davis, brother,
Martin Luther King,
the Fannie Lou Hammers, the
Malcolm X's.
yeah, there have been some,
all people who
I
had
think,
self-belief in their self.
right, and I thank God for giving us the opportunity to put that.
Well, I thank my mom and dad for bringing me into this world, because
well,
you see,
in by accident.
well, it probably was, but look at the accident and look at what it's doing today.
Well, yeah.
That's the thing that I tell everybody. We all was put on this earth to do something and make a change.
Right.
And if we don't accept our own self as being human, how do you expect them to accept you? We the people are, once again, not a color, not a label. We the people must get together and stay together and understand each other and not be disruptive or assuming because I don't believe in what you believe in, something is wrong with me.
Right. All right. All right. Caller, you have a quick question or comment for Mr. Kevin or myself?
I have a comment.
Yes, sir.
I'm kind of not understanding something here. And what I'm not understanding is, I'm going to ask a question about it, is that, you know, are we talking about a nation of people? Because the United States is a nation, and everybody is not like what I'm understanding we're talking about. You know, we're talking about a few people that are doing maybe us wrong. But we're not talking about a whole lot of people that are doing us this wrong. Now, I support my African-American race 100%. And I represent us at every time that I get my opportunities whenever things come up. Yes. Some things I can't be present for. Some things I can't be present for. But at least they know whoever is there that I'm supporting, I'm just not in the present. And that can be a lot of us sometimes.
Yes.
But with all due respect, y'all, listen, we can't be at war with everybody. Because look, I remember Martin and Malcolm and them and all the things and the things that
But who talking about wars?
all have heard their stories and things of that nature. And many of our brothers and sisters of all races were their friends. God, if we lose the focus on what we are battling against, then man, it's not gonna come out right, because we're gonna turn against our own brothers and sisters in here that's helping us.
Okay.
And many of them are white and other races.
Okay.
There's no such thing as races. There's only one race, human race. There's different cultures.
Our enemy.
We must understand we are not in here for wars and all the us. Look, Cole, I appreciate your call and all that, but if you want to do your own show, they got a Facebook called that. My thing is, we are talking about the assumption, assuming things. Just like you're assuming we talking about wars, we're not talking about wars, we're talking about people. We're talking about knowledge. We're talking about trying to educate ourselves. Stop depending on other people to make you understand what you should be able to understand yourself. Because if you assume something so bad and tell enough people that will have the same assumption of you, then you just started a war between the people. And that's what I'm trying to tell you about the assuming. You keep saying we are starting a war. We're not about a war. We're trying to help people understand what is going on. Now, my thing is the stuff that Donald Trump came up with, the quid pro quo.
Okay.
Most people don't understand what the hell that is.
Yeah.
That is a favor. That is an exchange of value of value. But this is not the same thing when it comes to politics.
No.
Now, Trump did this with a different country to find dirt on another candidate. That is impeachable by the constitutional laws.
Joe Biden.
That is unconstitutional to do. Now, if he'd have done it at his hotel instead of our White House, and I repeat, our White House, it wouldn't have been an impeachable statement. But being that he done it on the White House lawn, that made it impeachable. Because when Bill Clinton got sexual favors in the White House, they impeached him for that.
Yeah, and that was consensual.
But no matter what, they impeach him for that.
Right.
Barack Obama, they wanted to impeach him for having a black Muslim friend. He had to break friendship up or get impeached for that. But here today, we got people that don't understand what this man is doing to our country. And yes, I do say our, because if I pay taxes and you pay taxes, this is your country. We must start taking back everything that they're trying to take that's for us. Now, those of you who are living off of government welfare, then y'all the ones should be, well, when it comes to white folks, it's subsidies. When it comes to black and poor whites, it's welfare to them. It's the same thing, and they don't know this.
Right.
But they live off of the government more than any poor people on this planet.
Right.
But the thing is, we taking all the monies that coming out of government subsidies and giving it to the rich people because we think we need to run this country or state like a business. Well, if you're going to run it like a business and I invest in it, don't you think I ought to get some of my investment back? Because every year we have to pay more taxes.
That's what I would assume.
But they think, well, they assume we don't understand what business is. I've been in business 30 years now. Small business. And it's staying afloat because I know how to run a business. It's about running business the way you should run business. And that means the people. Being respectful to all people, no matter what color, no matter how poor. These people don't do that. Brother Jay mentioned Mr. Barr's comment about they should respect the law more than anything or something's going to happen to them. You see, this is the kind of people Trump putting in office. The most ignorant, racist people to get other people started in the background of hip hip hooray. The assumption that we want what they got. No, that is ours. If you're working for the government, you work for us, the people, no matter what color. But when it comes to our color, it's a problem. We not complaining, we talking about it, because I don't just complain about something and not do it. I'm doing it right now. I'm talking about it. And I will say whatever I say on this show, I can tell you in person.
And then you know, another thing, there's a different level of corruption that continuously exists. No way on earth that the 16 JDC could say that they didn't know what Sheriff Louis Ackle was doing with the nigger knocking, the beating.
But Judge Keith Como was sitting on the meetings when all this was being presented. So, you see, not just our little town have a problem with the laws that be beside us, because just like we so-called breaking their laws, they changing the laws to fit their laws that they break.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And if we don't say nothing about it, you know, you mentioned about the old black folks coming in the courthouse, not saying nothing. Look, if you can't say nothing, don't even show up. This is the way I am. My voice is the words.
Right.
Now, if those old people would come in that cane and start beating on the courtroom and not stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance, that's respect. Until we get justice, we will not stand for your flag that doesn't give us liberty and
You
justice.
see, some things I just can't dispute against you, because like you're right on you're right on the head, you know. And that's one thing that I really enjoy about our show, is that though we may not agree on everything, that we do.
But the
have
facts
enough,
always lead to
we do
the
have-
truth.
Right. We do have enough common sense to respect each other. You know, I know for a fact that, you know, where I would be if I wasn't into a higher power.
You are in a higher power. Every
and
time
then-
you step up for somebody that just got their justice taken from, that's higher power, living higher power. Not floating in the sky, not praying to something you can't see. Higher power is seeing what you're praying for.
And I'm not exactly sure, but I think we only have like less than 10 minutes of the show.
Well, look, I want to tell y'all about this
Okay.
Christmas.
Okay, go
Since
ahead.
all of y'all think this is about some kind of Christ or Jesus, this Christmas stuff was nothing but a story that Jesus so-called was born on the 25th. And if you go on YouTube, for those, it's not true to you, this guy was a storyteller. His name was Hippolytus,
Okay.
a Greek god, so say, who wrote stories. But he wrote down that Jesus Christ was born March 25th. They added 9 months to it, which came out to be December 25th. So all I'm trying to tell y'all is believe in what you want. The true Christmas of everybody's life is when you can give back what you done took. That's the gift. That's the meaning. That's the Christ of it. Not going to church and pay no tithes. Not going to your pastor and give him $1,000 because he preached a good sermon. Give it to somebody poor. You know, the last couple of cold days we had, I saw more people putting clothes on horses and dogs than going right there where they got homeless people than anything. So when animals become more respectable than humans, where is your humanity? Where is that? For all you people who call God and pray to him, where's your humanity when you take an animal in your house before you take a human being? That's the problem we have today with this here. And to my wife, my grandchildren, my family, all yours, I love y'all. Even my little white nephews and nieces who they think y'all not human.
No, that's not. So they're not white. They're black.
They
One
are
drop
white and
of-
black. It
one
doesn't
drop
matter.
of
They white and black. We
blood,
cannot
you're
deny
black.
the other side because
Nobody's
we
denying.
become like them when we start assuming like them. We're assuming human being. Like everybody who think there's two races, only one, human race. Cultures are different. Human race, one. So stop with the black and the white thing. There's nothing but a culture and a label.
I actually wish you would have been around the Ku Klux Klan is still around.
Well, they
but
probably would have a
actually-
couple of them dead because I wouldn't have go tell no black man what I was
Okay.
about to do. I'd have done it.
Yep.
I'm not about talking. Once again, I do it.
Right.
And for anybody who want to see me after the show or before the show, please, you can contact me. We can meet one-on-one, please.
We do want you to contact him.
Yeah, I really do, because what you seen, I will never see, because my life is different from yours. That's the assumption.
All right, and Mr. Kevin, you've gotten a lot of response off on your shows and everything, and one of the comments is repetitious comments that they like the way that you're a truth teller and that you don't.
Well, I'm a truth teller because I don't belong to no church. I don't belong to no religion. I don't belong to no group. I belong to people. It's called respecting each other. That's the only group we should be involved in, not praying to somebody we cannot see.
Yes. Caller, you have a quick question or comment?
Quick question, Mr. Kevin. Thank you so much. Sister, don't put the button on me. I need you to put it on me. Listen,
Brother G.
Listen, sister, brother, you made that reference about animals. They're out here giving medals to dogs, and dogs are basically almost like inanimate objects. You could talk to your wall clock, and your wall clock won't really answer back. They're out here giving medals, the police giving medals to dogs, German Shepherds. The president is giving, that's about the only person that's not going to bite back at him is a German
they'll bite him. They know he's stupid.
This is how they value human life with this group of people, and we fall for it. Look at the number of immigrants have died in these detention camps in Louisiana. A young boy died, 16 years old. He had the flu. They left him to be unattended. That's a story that made national news. Nobody's talking about that. They locked in kids in cages in the state of Louisiana because Trump has used this state because we don't have anybody to fight back or activists or major news media to complain about the number of people they are taking to Louisiana in these detention camps. So, brother, I'm glad you're saying what you're saying. Keep on saying.
Nobody can stop me. Nobody can, bring their views because I use my life as an example for others, and that's the problem.
Go ahead, ma'am.
I have a comment to say to Mr. Kevin.
Yes, ma'am.
I agree with him with a lot of things, but I have to explain to him. Let me tell you something. Them homeless people, that's not my problem. That animal, that's my animal. I'm responsible for my animal, not them homeless people, and I don't know them. So I'm sorry, I disagree with you. You go take care of them damn homeless people.
I appreciate it.
My animal that I'm responsible for.
But the thing is, if you're a Christian, like the Bible said, you're supposed to bring everybody into your. Okay, see, I'm into humanity, and no matter what color or what poor rankings you have, you're still human to me. And that's what we're not doing for each other, is respecting ourselves as being human beings. Yes. And that's the problem that we're having with
the. Got to go through all that because I agree with you with everything you say about all that other stuff.
Oh, okay, all right.
And I'm not going to feed my animals to feed some doggone homeless people.
You got it. You're right.
Why is they homeless?
We have
because of the government.
We have.
Okay, well we gonna help them, Kevin, but I'm gonna feed Bo first.
For sure.
Okay, don't forget.
Y'all take care.
Yeah, thank you so.
And Merry Christmas to you, in the human way, not the religious way.
No, bro, you good. Merry Christmas to yourself. I don't Merry Christmas stuff.
Thank you. All right.
Okay. Right. Oh, December the 9th. Don't forget 10 o'clock in New Iberia. That's Monday. Tuesday, December the 10th, 9 o'clock. December the 11th, 10 o'clock. December the 12th, 9 o'clock. December the 13th, 10 o'clock. Please support.
And look, get those convicted. I want the convicted felons that Rob Vine, Bo Dewey, who gave you all your children all this time. Come see how they look in there like some little children. Come see
the tantrum.
Come see the cape that Lori done took off of them. Come see how they're just a human being like you. Come see how they're more afraid than they had you when you took that plea bargain.
And I've got to say this. I've never seen somebody so disrespectful as Robbie Vines when Judge Landry automatically told him she's going to, it's well noted. He went on for almost some 22 times disrespecting
because
her.
she is black, and they're trying to tell her and other black people and other black judges that you may be a judge, but we still run the system.
Right.
And that's not fair, but if we don't show our faces and say something, not just show your faces, get in there and say something. Let your voice be heard. Don't let me or Sister Khadijah got to be the one speaking all the time. Right. You got to say something. Say all the things that they done to somebody in your family, because it have affect everybody's family, no matter what. Because when they start incarcerating kids for no reason, because they made a mistake. This, imagine, was the outcome. And this is the problem we have in New Iberia. Back in the early 90s, Phil Haney was the DA, gave all these young children's dad all this dope time for no reason.
Oh, yeah.
Took them out.
Yes.
And now this is why
Despicable.
this is why New Iberia is better known as Gunsmoke now, because the kids that y'all took their fathers out of their life didn't have nothing to live for after that.
That's right. Despicable. They are despicable.
But we're not mad at them. We're not mad at them because it's not their fault.
We're not mad at who?
At these DAs and all that, because if we become mad, we become them.
Well, then I know I'm completely mad at them because of the disrespect for humanity. The disrespect where you're gonna give this kid a chance and you're not gonna give this kid a chance. You just look at the 16 JDC would having one of the highest incarceration rates.
It's all over.
In the
all
world. Well,
over.
yeah,
More the
it's all
poor
over.
people.
I think we need to
But
do
guys,
something
look,
like
if you're
what-
not part of the solution, you are the problem. And like she said, I'm not going to none of this no more at the courthouse because I do enough talking about it in the street because I don't have to have my face seen to say what I need to say.
Well,
and
just
to all
being
you black
there.
people
Just
who
being
gonna go there, please say something. Don't let her say everything and get thrown out every time. Say something in her behalf. You know, don't let this judge talk to you like you come off a plantation. Shut up and don't sit down. He don't want to talk to you if you don't have a law degree and all that, but you have a citizen degree. That's the biggest degree that made this courthouse.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what people don't realize. Your voice is more valuable than a dollar.
Yeah.
Say something because they don't want nobody knowing how racist they truly are.
Right.
Even
Well,
though if they invite you to the back of the courthouse, say no.
we have less than 30 seconds. Kevin, you had your closing remarks. I'm going to go ahead and have mine. And I want to just tell you that it's essential that we respect each other. It's essential that if you have a disagreement with me, you have a disagreement with a young kid or somebody like you that look like you, don't kill them. Just don't kill them.
Even if they don't look like you, don't kill them.
Yeah, still don't kill them. You know, just show some respect. Man.
And you will be blessed in the human way. Always remember that.
Right.
What you put out comes back into your life.
And I thank God that.
Well, I thank Mom and Dad for making that mistake with me.